I'm Obozeghie. Welcome to Monday's edition. Let's begin from the UK this morning, where the sacked chairman of the board of Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Onochie, was over the weekend involved in accommodation mess in the UK. Now, bloggers and trips had posted on Saturday that Onochie was stranded, embarrassed and kicked out of an apartment by her relatives. However, on Sunday, in her response, she denied any eviction, stressing that her cousin and his wife, who she had accommodated in her home, attempted to take possession of the property.
It's totally out.
No. I just asked.
I have every right to remain
I
silent,
just asked if you brought a witness.
I want to speak.
No, you say you have every right. You cannot have every right when you are not paying rent. You haven't paid rent since September last year.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Do you know the reason why?
How would I know?
Oh, well, you can record me as much as you want.
How would I know?
Record me as much as you want.
Okay, she posted that as a side of the story yesterday, and then she added this long post on Twitter, X if you prefer. So let's see a part of it. She tagged it, "What a battle, I recovered my home. My cousin, Victor Achedu Fejukwu, and his wife, Ruth Emereze, were stranded. In fact, homeless at the time. I took pity on them, took them in to house them in my home. A year ago, when I started making plans to return to continue housing them, they blocked my phone number. I had no access to my letters. Consequently, I missed quite a number of appointments. Having the key to the property, I turned up at the door twice. They installed bolts and bolted the door from the inside and refused to let me in. They stopped contributing to the rent when they both have jobs, preferring to host lavish parties. Miraculously, she forgot to lock the garden door through where she sneaked into the house. I got access to the house through that door. She called in an IPOP thug and a young lady. They became nasty. Of course, I called the police, who dealt them a heavy blow, telling them they must vacate for me unless I was willing to continue to house them. The cowardly thug ran away before the arrival of the police. The other young lady went to my bed and spread herself out. Of course, I got her out." She continued to say then they started pleading to stay. No way. 2 days later, they shamefully moved out. But will I be nice to people again? Absolutely. It's my nature to help. I will continue to be me. We reap what we sow. Ashedu and his wife will reap what they did to me bountifully. Now, this is just a part of it because it was really long on X yesterday. Ice Code says, "Congratulations, but this is a family issue. You can take it to the authorities if need be, but the media isn't where you will find help. Family matters should remain private and go legal if necessary, not the media." Also in reaction is this user, Phoenix Plexus, who says people can so entitled and ungrateful, especially family members, and it is so heartbreaking. Finally is this user who says, "Why have you fled? You should be in Nigeria enjoying your party's government. We see what you did there with the IPOB thing. Unfortunately, you don't know you are also IPOB. To them, you know who." Away from that now, the couple that she accused, they are yet to respond to the allegation. We only saw them, packing like in preparation to move out, as she claimed in her long post on Sunday. Now, some executive officers of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, have accused their president of running a one-man show. Now, at the annual General Conference, AGC, the second and the third vice presidents, Chukwuemeka Ugu and Mandi Ashagba, lamented being sidelined by the NBA boss as it continues to enact deliberate measures to render their positions useless. But the big one on social media was the National Treasurer, Caroline Anza Bishop, who disowned the statement given to her to announce as the financial records of the NBA, saying that it was prepared without her input. Now, in reaction to that, the NBA boss noted that their anger is that he prevented all of them from embezzling the practicing fees of the lawyers.
Statements and the Treasurer's reports as obtainable in the bundle was put together was arrived at without my singular involvement, without consultation with the office. And I'm not going to disrespect you and stand here and give a report that did not originate from me. I'm sorry. I respect you too much to do that. Section 9, subsection 5G provides that the treasurer shall cause to be prepared or shall prepare all the financial statements to be presented.
I knew by the help of the Holy Spirit that she would come and make a complaint today about this particular issue. And with respect to the issue of payment, the issue of payment is very clear in the Constitution. It says that payment can be done by me, the Secretary, and or the Treasurer. The provisions are there. We are lawyers. I have never made any payment without him.
Well, he also mentioned 140 million naira that the second and the third vice president wanted to share, but he said no, standing his ground. Captain Tango says, I'm not surprised based on his past antecedent. I expected his colleagues to stop his election before then, but he scaled through due to the political force backing him up with money that ensured he won. He was planted there and activated after the recent elections to bastardize the NBA election report and demerit the international observers report as well, among other things. It's a long game they planned ahead. Also reacting, De Nova says, I'm proud of this woman's courage. Women seem to be on the forefront of fighting corruption in Nigeria, and the ones that have done so did it fearlessly. Finally, Emi Siasia says, what many people do not know and will never know is that this same crowd who called for the head of the president turned around to applaud him when he told his own side of the story. He says he was there. To another story, Pst Adeboye was the trend on Sunday after the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Onochie Adeboye, prophesied that Nigeria's currency, the Naira, would bounce back and even become stronger than the U.S. made, that's the dollar. Daddy Gio, as fondly called, was speaking on uncommon miracles at the church's September Thanksgiving service.
My wife came in the morning and said, darling, we will need 5,000 naira today. 5,000 naira of those days, so when the naira was stronger than the dollar. Don't worry, those days will return. Oh, I know you don't believe me. If the Lord I serve is still on his throne, those glorious days will return. Maybe when that happens, you will know that there is a God of miracles.
All right, so that was it partly yesterday. In reaction, Son of Teacher says, having faith is important, but economic factors are complex. It's crucial to address real issues affecting currency exchange rate and work towards economic stability. Also reacting to this is Mr. Jonah, who says, when God's prophets speak, they speak from a realm beyond we humans. We don't expect to see instant result, but it's definitely going to come to pass. Naira will bounce back whether you like it or not. Prophecies don't happen immediately. Some take time. So he was reacting to one of the reports back from 2016 where he said something like this before. And then Patrick says it's not prayer or prophecy that would do this one, is good governance, Oga. Yeah, we're supposed to take our final story where the president has promised 5 million eyeglasses for persons with visual impairment. But yes, we have to go. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning, Adora.
Good morning, Brenna. I don't think we have a lot of time to really wade into this, but I really would have loved to touch on that NBA story and the rule that says women actually do fight, corruption to the teeth when it comes to them. But I'll let you skid out of the way, and you can take a bow now.
Thank you. Have a good time.